Hi guys. So I want to read on this Russian hacking of the federal government and other companies, US companies, that whole hacking business. I want to mention something interesting. About a month ago, I did a reading called Dirt on Trump, Who, What, Why. And about 10 minutes in, and I even just double checked, but because I remember there was this world card right here at the base, which is like beneath the surface, not in our full awareness. Up here would be our full awareness, and what I got from that is that it's like we're in a world war, and I felt it was on the World Wide Web. I said I feel like there's a World War III that's happening that we aren't even aware of, and it's happening on the World Wide Web. And I'm now hearing people say that on the news, like regular smart experts and analysts and that sort of thing are now saying it like that. And so that always it's like, oh my gosh, just interesting. And also, I'm really glad because when things are down here, they are inevitably going to rise to the surface. And it's like we're there now and we can see it more. So that's positive. I also find it interesting that it wasn't the US government who even discovered they had been hacked, that this has been going on for like 6 months, and that it was other companies that came basically to the rescue and notified the government or notified the press, which sometimes is what you have to do in this Trump administration in order to get anything done or taken care of. And I also, in that read, do feel like there are other countries involved in this also. I feel there are allies and that are also other governments that are also probably under attack or whatever, that this will come up and come out more and more. And of course, Trump barely spoke of it for a good week and now is only just kind of denying that Russia is barely involved, maybe not. I mean, it's insanity. So I wanted to do a reading on that, and I asked my pendulum if Trump knew and sort of, left the back door open or stepped aside. I got a strong no on that. Because that is something even, just non-conspiratorial types are having to ask, like, right now. And I even asked, anyone else in the US government, sort of, I'm watching this show called The Bureau, and it's all about spies. It's a French. You have to watch it with subtitles, but it's really good. But I'm like, is there a spy in the government that allowed for it? And I got a no. So it does feel like they just snuck in. And so I started shuffling, and this King of Pentacles came out upside down. And I feel like this is, the pentacles are like a thing of value. And I got it upside down. I feel like this is Putin here. And it sort of did give me the feeling of it having been sneakily done, because it's like hidden, sneakily done, taking information. So I thought, let's start here and do a read and just see what else we get. So the question is, tell us more, Spirit, the truth about this hack. How big is it? Do they, help us to see more and understand more about this Russian hack, and what is the final outcome of this going to be? Okay, so we talked about this King of Pentacles. I believe this is Putin. And now I love that it's covered by the Magician. This tells me this is the most powerful card in the deck, and it also is using many different elements to be powerful. So I feel this is like FBI and who knows, CIA, other corporations that are able to, that have high technology that are able to look into this and help. And just basically, it's the fact that it covers an upside down Putin tells me that this is much stronger than he is. So, I mean, it doesn't really look that way if he's been in our system for 6 months tooling around. But it's possible that maybe he didn't get very far because maybe the firewalls were actually pretty strong. And it just seems like now they're at least going to come down strong on him. It just, the feeling I get is just like, this is like, you're done. And the fact that he's upside down tells me that he didn't get that much. Okay? So, and then at the surface, we have King of Cups. I just feel like Trump is an emotion. I feel like this is Trump. I feel he's like more of a King of Cups now, more and more, because he's an emotional wreck. He's like floating on a sea of just like, he's just lost, an emotional wreck. And there's something about like a King of Cups is great. It can be a very nice, emotional man. But like, this is how he's behaving as president when we are under attack by a foreign country. This is how he acts, like a King of Cups. He's weak. And I think he's a little scared. And maybe that ties into, I think he's surprised by this. Now here we have a Knight of Pentacles at the base. This I feel is the, like the hackers. So like, Trump is this, I think that also this is saying he looks weak. Trump looks weak. These hackers came in and did this, and he did nothing. And I believe these are the hackers because it's a knight. We have a King of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles works for the king, and its pentacles, you know, I think are the representing the information that they were after. And when I just feel these two, I feel that Trump feels so weak compared to these hackers that actually got in. That's how he's being, I think, seen and perceived, and also a bit how he feels. I think he feels a little bit duped. And I think that he was duped. I think that we have this Six of Swords here in the near past that is relating to all of this having happened. This is like relocating, moving, a transition. Like he sent people away. He fired too many people. And maybe that's how they got him to basically leave the back door open without him even knowing. It's like, this just takes me to either, or putting people in who are not paying attention. They're neglectful. They're just not looking. I mean, all we're seeing here is the back of people's heads that are just like, this is people leaving. The government agencies just shrank so much with Trump. He just got rid of so many people. And we were not well staffed enough with strong enough people. And maybe the people that were in there were just not paying attention. They're just not smart enough. They're not expert enough because Trump only wanted loyalists. Something about people not being there and not paying enough attention helped Putin. And I feel that Trump feels just sort of embarrassed. You know, he might actually, in that tiny brain of his, putting some things together. And like, look, we have the Lovers here at the end, so it does cross my mind, you know, like I am looking for evidence that he was in on letting this happen. But this just makes, I don't know. I think maybe he was in on sending people away from their posts or sending away bills that would have put more firewall or more protection into those that's the cyber walls or whatever. I don't know the language, but there's something he did where he sent people away. It's like abandoned posts. And here we are. We have a Seven of Pentacles here coming into the near future. This tells me, since we're sort of on the Pentacles thing for the information, that I think what we will find out is you know, he didn't get that much, okay? Something about this magician makes me feel like he did, as you know, as weak as it seems our system, weak and vulnerable as our system was, there were walls that came up that did not allow the hackers here to get too much. A 7, if it was like a 10 or even a 9, I would say it's a lot. It's a 7, it's not nothing, but it's not everything. We have the star card here in this position of sort of where we are now, which is, I feel this is shining a light on exactly the thing that we need to see. And it's sort of like the North Star is something you would follow. So it's sort of like follow this for more truth. And like I said, in the end, we do have the Lover's card here, which I feel is the sort of final outcome of this, is that it's shining a light like the star does. The star is sort of in, it's not like the sun card where it's bright sun, but it's shining a light at night. It's shining a light upon that which is hidden, that will point us to the alliance. And it's maybe not, and if it's not that he helped orchestrate this hack, that it is that he's still protecting Putin, that he is not willing to stand up to Putin, who is clearly taking advantage of the weakness in the system that seems like it was created because people were sent away. So this star just makes me feel like this is shining a light on exactly what we need to be seeing right now. And also this star card kept coming up for me in so many of my reads that made me think of this exact time of year, this like winter solstice, that things will, I think that, in the remainder of the month, we will see more and more of what we need to see, of the truth of the situation. And also it's interesting, there is, because I kept seeing it for this time of year, and now I'm learning that there is an actual star. It's Saturn and Jupiter are going to align and create this star in the sky, I think on like the 21st or something. And they're calling it the Christmas star. And I think it's going to bring a lot of, good energies, peace, something. And it's interesting because I feel like it's here now. And so maybe that's going to be allowing, I feel like it's weakening Trump and going to allow us to see more and more the truth of things. And somehow, even if the truth of things is difficult, it makes us feel peaceful. Because, and I gotta say, it does. The more obvious it is to everyone that Trump failed. He failed this country. This was an act of war. It is an act of war, and he failed us. And he won't even stand up to Putin. And that's what we see here in this Page of Cups. It's like he's acting like a child, saying, well, maybe it's not Russia and maybe it's China, and he's just being such a child, and he's doing it over tweet like he does. This Page of Cups is often just his silly theatrical tweets. This is the strength he shows. I mean, look, a Page of Cups can be like an adorable child, but when you're the president of the United States and it's an act of war and you're acting like this, it's almost silly the way he's acting with his typical, it's fake news media and all of that. It's just weak. And that is also here in the environment. The current environment is everyone actually, as we speak, is talking about his tweets today. So that's where we are. The hopes and fears, we have a 10 of Wands. I believe that Trump is actually, it's like this is the most burdens you can have, as you can see. I really think, and I know we're in the middle of him literally trying to like overthrow an election and stage a coup. This is one more big thing that is, it's starting to feel like he can't hold it all up. He can't keep it up. Even within himself, believe it or not, because he's the king of denial. And I know he does this positive thinking or whatever, but it's almost like everything's closing in on him. It's like he keeps trying to find this loophole where he can continue his positive thinking and his repetitive, willful phrases over and over, but it's like these wands are weighing heavier and heavier on him, and it's weakening him. And this was a big one. Long-term outcome with the Lovers card. I mean, it crossed my mind, is this us and our allies or something? But I remember thinking before I even threw these cards, if I see this Lovers card in this, that would be Trump, Russia, Trump, Putin, the partnership, the alliance. It's so obvious. It's so clear. I mean, it's just like, when are we going to finally say that Trump is a Russian asset? That's what this card is. And that is, I believe, sort of what we need to see and what we're going to ultimately, I think it's just going to be right there, crystal clear. And in that, so I'll show you my clarifiers on that. But first, at the base, at that time, we had this Three of Cups. What I see here is these are like friends and allies. And then we have this Eight of Cups. This is like leaving, stealing away, retreating, abandoning. So his supporters, or at least I think of it more like certain Republicans, are actually retreating. Just like, oh God, this is bad. We gotta just, it's an abandonment of support. And then this Five of Swords, I feel also this would be like a betrayal. I feel that Trump does feel all of this as a betrayal. This card is representing Mitch McConnell. I feel that so strongly here, which makes sense with the other two cards. Like the Republicans are turning to Mitch and he is directing them as their leader. I wondered if there's a bold plan being devised to elbow Trump out or separate themselves, or if it will be more subtle. And you'll see that the Temperance card is right after this card, so I'd say it will be more subtle, but I feel like all discussions are on the table. People are getting away and they are in secret betraying him. This guy looks very much in secret, like, I'm out. It's like that. Like, I'm taking my support away. I'm out. I don't want to have anything to do with this. And Temperance tells me little by little this is happening, but also little by little this Eight of Wands is more of this crushing stuff coming upon Trump, I'm going to guess. Watching back, I actually think these cards are all relating to the GOP. There's more coming down on them, more stories. Some we may hear of, and other are just internal reports coming at them like boom, 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 boom. That's the Eight of Wands, and it's putting major pressure on them. And that next card, the Five of Wands, is the internal fighting that I'm sure is going on. It's like the GOP basically imploding, which I think we're sort of seeing, and that Sun card at the end is how all of this shines a light on them, which I think is absolutely true. More of this evidence, more is coming, little by little. And, I do feel there's still a little more fight left, this Five of Wands. Things will come down. He'll keep trying to fight it off, but the sun is here. All of this behavior shines a light on this. And what else? So here I had this Seven of Wands, this Queen of Swords, and this Ace of Pentacles. This makes me feel very much like, first of all, Queen of Swords coming in. There's going to be an investigation. I believe this Ace of Pentacles here is an investigation into this Lovers, this alliance, this situation, we're going to have, like, when Biden comes in, I'm sure we will open up an investigation into why this happened. Why did Putin get this stuff? And this Queen of Swords with the Sword of Truth coming in, and this Seven of Wands will be knocking people off their pedestal. People who are trying to stand on their pedestal. It's interesting because Pence got this card also in this exact same position in my last read. And I remember feeling, that's him trying to stand his ground. While people are, more of these wands, these burdens coming at them, these stories. So this Queen of Swords is going to be giving people a hard time. They've got a lot coming, this investigation, this alliance. There's going to be a lot of these people trying to stand their ground, and I feel this to be sort of getting knocked off, okay? So I believe that's coming. Anyone who was involved in this alliance, this treasonous alliance, the truth is coming, investigation coming, you're going to get knocked off. So, and then what do we have? One last thing. Oh yeah, I feel like in here we're getting into, so this I felt, because it's sort of, after I dropped these last 3 cards, which are like this investigation into this, I feel there were, favors given. And I think we've got Ivanka here. Like for a while I was stuck on who's this Queen of Cups in the middle of this investigation, because this Hermit card I feel like is also, we're going to be looking a lot closer into things. This 9 of Pentacles, we're going to be looking closer into financial things, wealth coming in. Who got wealthy in this alliance? This Chariot coming, it tells me coming in very strong. So whatever this investigation is, it's going to come strong. And this Emperor upside down, coming strong on the corrupt Emperor. Ace of Swords, getting to the truth of things. King of Rods is always my Sci-Vance, or often my Sci-Vance, or any man who is passionate about justice. And, oh yeah, when I have, especially the King of Rods, with this 5 of Cups, which is loss, I feel like that is the debt. We know Trump had debt, or I don't know that we have the exact evidence yet, but I think Sci-Vance does have the evidence of Trump's debt. Specifically the debt to Putin, which is the foundation of all of this whole mess. We have a 4 of Cups here, is like holding on desperately to money or belongings. I believe that with these cards all together, we're talking very much about debt and the truth coming out about that. Oh yeah, and here, and then this I found interesting after that, the 9 of Swords, it's like, and the Judgment upside down. I feel like Trump, he's going to have his hands tied. Like, he's not going to be running again. I don't think he's going to have a media company. I think he's going to be real tied up in a lot of these investigations of corruption that are coming for him. I mean, this almost feels like handcuffs. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm afraid that they will literally handcuff a former president, but it does feel like I just get his hands are tied. His hands are tied. His hands are tied. And this Judgment upside down, this is more on that corruption. Oof. And I just got like a head spin with this. The corruption actually of him, this 6 of Wands, this is his win. Okay? I've got an upside down Judgment with the triumph, which I believe is his 2016 election triumph. We have an upside down Judgment for that, and an upside down Knight of Swords, and an upside down 3 of Swords. This, oh man, this often for me is also internet hackers. This Knight of Swords, it's like an army of hackers. It's really bringing me back to that 2016 election. That win here with the upside down swords, those internet hackers, and the upside down Judgment. It was not the right judgment. Is that what we're getting here? That this will actually lead to that revelation as well, that Russia put Trump into that position of power. This heartbreak over that 26th election for those who did vote for Hillary Clinton, because she got by far the most votes, but also I think it was her rightful win. So it's like, this would be the heartbreak. It's upside down. It's just like wasn't even meant to be. They created, it was like a manufactured heartbreak. Man. So that's what I get from my cards. So thanks so much for watching. I really love having people to share my reads with. I love to hear your intuitions and your analytical minds, whether on your own readings you're doing or on any of my cards. It's always interesting to me, and I thank you for watching, and I hope everyone's doing well and staying healthy and connected with others. Glad to have you here, and I'll talk to you guys next time.